I have no idea.
Here's Wally.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get a whole shitload of that.
Hello, kids.
All right.
How are you? Here we are. It's Thursday. Wally demanded I wear this. It's a pretty sexy look, though, right?
It is. It is. Are we on here?
Yeah, we sure are.
All right, nice. What's up, everybody? Yeah, it is weird doing it because you don't see me. Let me see if I have this name here. Yeah. All right.
How's everybody doing? Hopefully we're live and everything's working. It says we are. Check.
Yeah.
I got nothing but check marks up here. So hopefully you're all gonna have nightmares about this mask.
Yeah. Forgive us because I've never used this before, so I'm not used to. I'm not. It feels very isolated.
We'll figure it out. It's just like riding a bike for the first time.
That's Thom, everyone.
No, can't you read, motherfucker? I'm Skippy.
It's on here. There we go.
Skippy.
Oops. Everyone. Nope, gotta turn that off though. Let me turn that off. Hold on, y'all. All right, let me just turn that off.
Figuring out technology.
Yeah, we're just figuring out. We'll just give people some time to jump on here.
Yeah. How you doing, Wally? Dusty? Wally Dusty from Allele. I'm Thom, if you don't know that already, or you don't recognize me.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing, Dusty?
Doing pretty good.
All right. Yeah, we're doing all right, man. We're just really excited to jump on here with everybody. I guess we'll just wait a few minutes and people. I mean,
there's people here.
It's done anyways.
I ain't waiting for shit. We're talking. Thank you, Marianne. I figured I would petrify some children tonight. Dude, the thing is genuinely kind of terrifying, though, isn't it?
I like it better than the Mario mask. The Mario mask looks good with the dreads, though.
Yeah, that's too much work for. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey everybody. It's nice to finally be back in here and talking to people. It's been a long time. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you've been gone for a long time, Wally. The world has changed.
Yeah, the world's
moved
changed.
on without you. It's time to catch up. You look handsome as ever, though.
Oh, thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate it. So does Dusty. Yeah, Dusty.
You both do. You both look great, Dusty. I know you had some scares. I know you're undead like me, which well played. Escaping from the jaws of the Reaper, just like I did.
I don't know if you know that, Thom. Yeah. Thom Croak too.
Yeah, if everybody doesn't know, I in 2020 had heart failure and my heart stopped and I was dead for 20 minutes and then I was in a coma for a week and it was pretty fucking scary. I literally woke up a week later like, oh, what the fuck was that? That's why my teeth are all fucked if you catch a glimpse of it, because I knocked out all my front teeth when I literally fell flat on my face and I'm like 360, 70 pounds ish. And I fell flat straight on my face and took a nosedive. And then last year I had a stroke and an aneurysm and had a couple other heart failures in between. So I'm like Frankenstein stitched up and put back together.
That's what music does.
Pacemaker and a defibrillator and all kinds of crazy shit.
We got Darth Vader for manager.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's stress, man. That's what music will do to you. You know,
Guys like Wally will do to you.
Need the Vader mask.
Yeah, which one do you like? I don't know.
This is the closest thing I got to Darth. I do have a Darth. Chris Ruzick, what up, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, see, so many people discovered this band through SmackDown versus Raw, which I did, by the way. That was me. Yeah. I got that on there. And so many people have found and discovered this band through that game and the affiliation with the WWE. It's pretty crazy, right? I'm sure tons of people come up to you at shows and say that too. Oh, I found the band through SmackDown versus Raw or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, we would get that a lot, man. It was I mean, it still seems to make its way back around. The conversation still goes, which is really humbling. You know, it's been a minute. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I think Scott's his name on Instagram, and he got me in Discord, which I haven't been in there before, and that was pretty neat, man. But yeah, it was like seeing everybody talking.
Welcome to 2025, Wally.
Yeah,
where
I mean,
Discord exists.
You know, I'm a techie. I used to theme phones, all that stuff. But when it comes to music, you know, it's the last few years I fell off. I had some stuff too. You know, I got this slash across my throat. I was crushed by a garbage.
Yeah, tell us about your medical peril, Wally.
So,
I'm not the only one with 9 lives, man. Wally and Dusty got a few too. I'm not the only one.
The night of a tour.
Escaped the jaws of fucking death.
The night we were supposed to leave and go on a tour with, we won't even mention Michael's first name, but we were supposed to leave, and then Dusty calls. He's like, "Dude, I'm not going to be able to make it." And we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, I feel like an elephant is sitting on my chest with like needles." And I'm like, "That don't sound good," you know? And like, he's like going to the hospital, and you tell him what happened.
Yeah, I mean, they stereotyped me because the way I looked, thought I was in there for drugs.
Oh, dude, that's exactly what they did to me when the first time I died. It wasn't even that time, but I'll tell that. But literally, same fucking thing happened to me. Continue.
3 days later, I was like on a emergency surgery. Same thing. They were like having to revive me a few times, but missed the tour. Damn it.
Yeah, that sucked. We did pull over. We found a dead raccoon.
Your story is way more dramatic than that, though. The way Wally tells it, like the way he makes it sound, they like took your heart out and cut it into 4 pieces.
They took
some veins from the guy next to you and stitched them into you. And I think there's more to that story. Like, oh well, I didn't feel good, and then I missed some dates. Like, fuck
I'm
you.
still connected to him. He's just out of the camera view.
Yeah, that was.
Wally, I was talking about you getting run over by a garbage truck. That's what I was referring to. Your brush with death that you just referenced, not mine.
We've all had them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but no, so we did go out because this is very, it's just pre-relevant. So we went out, and then everybody was just like, "Where's Dusty at?" And it was you weren't like, we weren't, working together at the time, but yeah, he flat out, they pulled his heart out of his chest, the whole 9 yards. It's crazy.
Like Mortal Kombat style. Did the doctor like sit and look at it while it was still beating? I sure as fuck hope so. So much more. If not, we're going to tell it that way because that's so much more dramatic.
Put me on some kind of artificial breathing thing, and then
like an iron lung.
I was up rehearsing 4 weeks later.
Yeah, 4 weeks later, we're playing a 7 Dust show, and he's like, "Dude, I'm coming up to play," and I'm like, "Dude, that would be awesome." And man, he's like practicing the day before, and our friend Grover was filling in at the time, which was cool. And he ended up coming up to do it. But man, like, because they like, so your rib cage.
Well, did you have open heart surgery?
No, I have a pacemaker and a defibrillator, and I was dead, so I don't really know what they did exactly. But yeah, but now I have a pacemaker. They still cut you open, but it's not the same as open heart surgery. That's kind of make a big incision and then stick the shit in and kind of sew you. But again, I was in a coma, so I don't really know what happened exactly. I believe I was in, I don't know if it was a normal coma but basically I was walking through my living room on the phone, screaming at somebody, fell, like just went out, woke up a week later, had no idea what happened. No memory, no recollection. So it was pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Like, this all goes to where Allele's been, okay? And why Allele has not been. So after that with Dusty, it kind of just, we did stop for a while, he wasn't able to play, and just, I don't know, things just weren't right with any of that. So,
we did the Sony deal.
Yeah, we did the Sony deal, which, Dusty led us to this Sony MTV deal, which is how we ended up having music on like, the Cobra Kai stuff and, Dancing with Stars. They still use it on all kinds of stuff. And that was really awesome. So we were like really excited about that, doing something. And, it just all comes down to, and it's not thrashing anybody. So it all comes down to why we haven't been doing anything for so long. And everybody, I think, got really sick and tired of me always posting, "Hey, we're writing new music. Hey, we're writing new music," because I'd always, trying to move forward, man. You know, like always trying to
Stay positive.
yeah, stay positive, get pieces going. And then it just was not, it just literally would not go anywhere. And it was really frustrating. So, you know, once we really started, actually, this is what's awesome. So this lineup, which is like, I consider this the reinvention of the band with Billy, Dusty, Joey, and Tyler. This lineup is what started writing these songs 4 years ago. You know, Billy came down. We're all doing it, hanging out. We had some really cool plans. You know, we wanted to like reinvent the band. You know, then I got crushed by a garbage truck. You know, contrary to popular belief, musicians have jobs. You know, when we're not, you know, doing musician stuff. So I own a landscape company. I was working with, you know, employees and ran underneath a garbage truck that I thought was parked and wasn't, and came down on my head, and it broke, you know, discs in my neck, and I got a metal plate in my neck and all that stuff. So that sucked. That put the brakes on everything. They told me I'd never sing again. So that was really hard. They,
So crazy. So see, people
Yeah.
don't even understand. Like they think, oh, you just be like, no, you couldn't sing for years and crushed your larynx with a garbage truck. Like
It was
people
bad.
don't get this shit.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
think,
bad,
you know?
man. I couldn't eat food. So I didn't eat solid food for 3.5 months. It was, you know, if it weren't for my wife, dude, I don't know where I'd be sitting. After all of that, and we got everything going, as far as getting through all the horrible crap, I just noticed for like a couple of months, I couldn't even talk this loud. Nothing was coming out. And
Vocal
it,
paralysis.
yeah, dude, it scared the shit out of me because it's a big part of, you know, it's over half of what I am, you know, it's like, it really did something to me. So she made me go to see, what is it called, babe? Whatever they put, what's that? Yeah, an ENT, that's it. So she made me go see an ENT because we needed to figure out. We went to my surgeon. He's like, oh, it's normal. He's like, but 1% of people that have the surgery, because they go in, dude, and they pull your neck apart while they're taking things out and drilling plates into your neck, right? So you have two main nerves that run down each side of your neck. 1% of people end up having damaged nerve, the vocal nerve. Well, I was the 1%. We end up getting a scope put down, which that sucks, by the way. Don't do it unless you have to. So you're sitting down, and they put a camera down your throat, and he's looking at all the vocal cords, and he said all the nerves were torn. So long story short, said I'd never sing again. And that was really difficult. That'll mess you up.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't yell. I couldn't like yell up to the, like, you know, my kids. I couldn't like raise my voice. This was as loud as I could
Yeah,
get.
having conversations with you is
Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't talk. But you know, she got me through it, man. She's like, just don't give up doing it. Have some faith, man. It'll grow. You know, she's had friends that have had some serious nerve damage, and but to be told that you'll never sing again when you're a singer is like saying that you're,
Oh yeah. And meanwhile, the whole time I was telling you not to do it again. I'm like, no, you're terrible. Don't do it.
yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's good. This was a blessing from God. Thank you. Just kidding.
No ands, ifs, or buts, man. Said that you know, all my vocal cords were in atrophy. I had the bottom part, but no top part. Wow. Anyways, over a year and a half straight, every day by myself, without my wife knowing or anyone knowing, I'm like in the truck, like while I'm driving around, like trying to sing, and like the pain is indescribable. I can't describe it. But one day, like it just popped out. It felt like something popped in my throat, and fuck, it hurt so bad.
It's like game on.
But I was just like, game on. Yeah, like, and then I just kept going and going, and it literally took 4 years for my voice to come back. Yeah. So I went in. So here's the thing with everybody got confused, and it pissed off a lot of people. Why did I change the name? The reason I changed the name was because there's a lot of amazing history with Allele and stuff I'll be grateful for forever. But there's a lot of not so happy stuff with the band, you know, just going in, member this and member that. I mean, it's just been too much. And I wanted to start over, you know. I'm sure
sometimes you just want a clean slate, and you want to trying to do something new. I get it, and
Named
I'm
it
sure
a song.
fans do to a certain extent.
And then after
too,
Feed the Wolves, it's an Allele song off the Next to Parallel album. And, it was at the time it was this because Dusty just had things going on, and I don't blame him. He wasn't really interested in doing Feed the Wolves. He wanted Allele, and he's the longest running member in Allele besides me, is Dusty. And, so that's what I was doing, but there was no intention to do anything with Feed the Wolves. It was just basically we recorded Allele songs and I rebranded it, Feed the Wolves. And so, just not even like a month ago, I don't know, a month ago, I was just like, dude, screw this. And me and Dusty talked, and
It happened fast.
yeah, man. And Dusty, talked to Billy and Tyler, and I talked to Joey, and it was the original lineup from 4 years ago, and everybody's super stoked. And fast forward, here we are, man.
Go.
Talking to Thom. Thom got us with TKO, which is amazing, in 21 hours. Got a show planned in what I consider Allele's hometown is Green Bay. And we're working on some future.
Which is actually my hometown, which is why that happened. So let's talk about first. Let's back up. I mean, we're, starting the movie at the end. You know what I mean? We got to rewind this thing. I mean, that's kind of the reason we did this together, because I have a deep history with Allele, and there's a story to how it all started, and then we came back together, and so let's start the movie. Let's start the movie at the beginning. So a little bit of our history. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. There's little comments, that show up at the bottom here that you might want to respond to, or you know what I mean. So if you can keep an eye as you watch. Do you still have a relationship with Scooter and the rest of Cold? We'll answer that later. And see back here, someone said something awesome that.
See, I don't.
It's totally not true, but Marianne Edney says, yet everything Thom touches turns to gold. That's actually absolutely not true, but thank you so much for that.
Oh, there it is.
I mean,
okay. We didn't have these comments pulled up. We didn't
see, look at this. See, bro got 9 lives. Holy shit. Jennifer Rodriguez says, what's up, guys? Where's Joey? You look great. Can't wait to see you live. Hello, guys. Hey, guys. Seven Dust is my favorite band. I mean, they're one of mine, too. Jeremy Williams was here showing up, saying, what's up? What's up, Jeremy Williams?
Stephen Patterson.
Steven.
So, anyway, dude, Jeremy's off.
Yeah, we need Steven back on the road with us, man.
Let's go, Steven. Steven Patterson. You can't say Steven's name without saying Steven Patterson.
Steven Patterson, baby.
Steven
Patterson. Steven was just so everybody knows, Steven was our he was our on the road backbone, man. Like everything moved smooth because of that one dude. I mean, we had a couple of guys, but Steven Patterson, that's our dude, man.
Yep.
So anyways, you were saying.
So again, so it's a little bit my history to what leads to our history. So if people don't know who the fuck I worked with Limp Bizkit and Stained and Cold and a billion other bands, but I worked with all the bands on Flip Records, and Cold was one of them. So, I mean, I met the Cold guys on their first record, and then became good friends with them, especially, Sam and Kelly. And Kelly eventually called me one day out of the blue and goes, hey, I quit Cold, and I joined this band Allele. At the time, I had I did marketing, and I was one of the owners of a company called Total Assault Marketing. And we did a lot of street team stuff and a lot of marketing stuff. And I also managed Chimera and Switched and Depswa and a billion other bands and got them signed. Helped Papa Roach get signed, helped a bunch of bands. So fast forward a few years, I had a label called Corporate Punishment Records. And I get a call out of the blue from Kelly Hayes, who says, hey, I quit Cold and I joined this band called Allele. I'm sending it to you. You're going to sign us. I'm like, oh, okay, Kelly Hayes. I'll check it out. So he sends me demos. I think it was like the demos that literally I was just listening to today that Wally sent me. Kelly sends me some demos and we all start talking and we go, yeah, let's do a deal. So I Ben Schigel, the singer from Switched, who is a great producer who, I worked with Chimera and a bunch of my other bands. And obviously I managed Switched and got them signed to Immortal as well. So I brought Allele to Ben, and he produced the record. He produced Point of Origin, and I was the executive producer. We were just talking about it. Me and Wally were talking the other day how me and Wally were both so entrenched in making that record. Like we were like one of my friends did a podcast about Point of Origin that we posted the other day on the Allele page, and we were talking about it. We were talking about the track listing, and how I kind of did the track listing, and because we were talking about they were talking about why the songs were the way they were, and there's certain songs that are really great, like new metal songs that are heavy, but this was in 2005, and that shit was kind of falling out of favor. So that's why those songs are great, but the kind of more screamy blah, 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 songs are like at the end of the record, and they were commenting they're like, these are so great, but again, in the lens of now, when we're in a new metal renaissance and everybody loves it again, in 2005 they didn't. Everybody hated it, and everybody was, nobody wanted to hear it, and everybody was moving away from it. And Allele was more, we were leading it. I mean, that's why Closer to Habit was the singles. I mean, Stitches was a little heavier, and it was a little more that way, but that's why Closer to Habit was the first single. It's a little more alternative, you know what I mean? So again, but that's why. But yeah, so we did Point of Origin together, and then we put it out. The band started touring, and we did a lot of stuff on that record cycle. One of the first stations that really picked up on it was Razor 94.7 in Green Bay, and Roxanne Steele, the program director at the time, was a good friend of mine, and other stations did. WJJO was super supportive. There was a ton of stations that were super supportive, but Razor, Closer to Habit. Somebody said the other day, they're like, dude, you remember back then when you couldn't turn on Razor, and you couldn't go a half an hour without hearing Allele, and they did that with Closer to Habit. Then they did that with Stitches, and the band came and played here a bunch of times, and it was really big. And so, yeah, this kind of became, I'm from here, so it kind of became the band's second home outside of Jacksonville too, so there's a lot of success. That's why the first show we announced, if people don't get that, is here. I did do a radio show. Marianne had an amazing radio thing called Stone Chrome Radio, and I did a show on it. Actually, she ran my show, and but yeah, so we had a really cool thing with Point of Origin, and the record really started blowing up. That WWE thing happened with SmackDown versus Raw, and the Stephen King Nightmares and Dreamscapes thing happened, and it really started picking up a lot of steam. But there was, there was a lot of issues. I mean, look, Wally, without calling anybody or anything out, I mean, there was just guys in the band that had,
it comes down to this. I don't drink, and I've never done a drug in my life, and I don't care what people do, but it got to a point where I couldn't handle that. That's what the band was focused on.
Yeah, I didn't. It got to the point where I couldn't take another phone call going, dude, so-and-so's in jail. You got to bail him out. And that happened more than once on the Point of Origin album cycle, and it just, and it's funny because I got to the point where it was Wally's band. He started it, created it. Wally couldn't take it. Wally fucking left. They got a different singer. I mean, some people remember that, some people don't. But there was a period of time Wally quit his own fucking band. That's how bad it was, and that was when I sort of walked away too. I mean, they got a different singer, and they were still touring, and it was still actually going surprisingly well considering. But yeah, that was when I walked away too, and sort of just kept, me and Wally stayed friends, and he came back, and then they went and did Next to Parallel, and there was a point years down the road where they came and asked if they could do something with Point of Origin. They wanted to do some re-recordings, which obviously they did, and that's what's on Spotify and stuff. And I said, of course, man. And we stayed friends through the years, and I kept up with him, and he kept up with me, and Allele kept doing their thing, and with different lineups. A couple of those guys, sort of came in and out of the band, and they are not in the band anymore. And so fast forward to 2-3 weeks ago, Wally hits me up and goes, "Hey, dude, I want to do Allele again." And, and literally I connected the dots that way. You realize it is the 20th anniversary of Point of Origin. It came out in 2005. I'm like, well, let's fucking do it, man. And it's a different lineup. Some of those guys that I loved and I have a great history with, but I just had a problematic working relationship with them. I mean, it's kind of a new ball game, man. Wally's got some really great guys with him, and it's a different, but it's going to be sustainable, man. You know what I mean? Like this band, yeah. But really, in the past 2 weeks, I've been kind of taking a trip back to how much this band meant to me and how much that record meant to me, and everybody who's been in the band and was in the band then, I that record, we really tapped into something special with Point of Origin, which we're kind of realizing now as people are still talking about it 20 fucking years later. This little independent record we put out, and look, and you guys, Next to Parallel is a great fucking record. I mean, you guys went on and did some great fucking stuff, and even those re-recorded versions of the shit from Point of Origin has 30 million plays on Spotify. You know what I mean? So somebody likes it.
Hold on. Those recordings and those versions absolutely suck. But we had 2 days? We had to go in. MTV was like, we have to have these by this day because they send them to get mastered at Abbey Road Studios in London. So we had 2 days to get them. So we went in and tracked all the songs and vocals in 2 days. I didn't even have a chance. I just did like single vocals on everything. It was like one take stuff.
It was super rushed.
It was, yeah. That's why none of us liked the way it sounded, but it wasn't for us to listen to. That's not what those songs were meant for. They were meant to be on movies and television. That's what those songs were meant for. Next to Parallel, I love that album, man. I went out there and recorded the vocals with Pete Sherrill, the bass player from Trapped. I went out there for 10 days and we knocked that out. I actually wrote the whole album, all the lyrics while I was out there. I didn't have anything but a different someone. Or something cured. That's the only thing I had written vocally. I went out there and stayed with my buddy Brent Simmons, and I wrote all the vocals and recorded them in 2 weeks. And but I love that record, man. I love Point of Origin. I love this record. But one thing I've always wanted to do in the last years, though, was I think a band has to elevate. We all complain when a band sounds like it's the same song every single record. And I don't think Next to Parallel sounds like Point of Origin sounds like Next to Parallel. And I want the new stuff we're writing to sound like it's elevated, and it does. So, on that tip, we'll talk about it. We got new stuff, all that. Sorry, Archie can't help himself. He's just gotta, he will not stay downstairs. He's got to be up here.
I have so many dogs running around here. I keep having to mute it because they're barking, and my kids leaving for work, and my roommate. So they just heard them go out the door, so they're barking at them. I've been muted like 80% of this time because my dogs won't.
Yes, so hey, Justin. Oh yeah, what's up, Justin? Yeah, I know. Us too, man. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're really excited, man. The Green Bay show is going to be awesome. We're trying to work on maybe a couple things around it. If not, Green Bay's set. We're gonna.
So let's talk about that. So we kind of came to this thing where again, I kind of connected the dots. Like, shit, it's the 20th anniversary of Point of Origin, and
I didn't even know. Like, it's been 20 years. Like,
what was that? I know, right? Isn't that fucking crazy? 20 years. Like all these other bands are doing it. It's funny because I managed Taproot too, and we just did some anniversaries and 25, 30. Those records are hitting 25, 30. I mean, it does not feel like 20 years ago we put out that record. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Hey, Lindsay. Sam, I can't. That's a hard question to ask a band. What is your dream tour lineup?
So many.
That's
we'll get back to that when we're done talking about Point of Origin.
Festival. That's what that is.
Yeah, you're skipping ahead in the book now.
20 years.
But yeah, so we decided to do a 20 years of Point of Origin. People keep asking. So the cool thing is, when I put this record out, Spotify didn't exist. Digital didn't exist. Like iTunes, I think, just downloads. Buying it from iTunes existed, but that was it. So, and somehow it never has ever been on digital. That's why the 5 songs from it that are re-recorded have 30 million plays, because the original has never been on Spotify. So one cool thing is we are reissuing a remastered version of the record with some demos and bonus tracks on all digital outlets. It will be on Spotify. It will be on iTunes, on Apple Music, whatever the fuck the kids are calling it these days. It'll be on TikTok. It'll be on every digital platform. And yes, we are doing a physical version on CD and probably very limited vinyl as well. So yes, people keep asking about CDs. And yeah, the record's been totally out of print. I know people are paying exorbitant prices for it on eBay. So yes, we will be doing a physical reissue of Point of Origin as well. And I will probably, I mean, at some point we'll probably do we talked about doing a reissue of Next to Parallel too, which will be cool.
Yeah,
too.
because that
out of print, all this stuff out of print. So, but and the band is recording new music, which I know is really important to Wally that we talk about. So well, it's
important to everybody.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this new stuff you guys are writing and where that's coming from and what you think. Tell me about that.
Well, it's called Moving Forward, Tom. And that's what we started to do. Like I said, before this accident 4 years ago, me, Dusty, brought Billy in. Billy Gray. Y'all, everybody knows Billy Gray. If you're familiar with Fozzy, he plays with Fozzy currently. Tyler's been on the road. Dusty's played with Tyler. Amazing bass player. I love that dude. Joey's been with us since 17. Joey's such an amazing guitar player, man. It's not even just the musicianship. Like, they're amazing musicians, dude. There's no doubt about it. Dusty, there's not a better drummer. Joey and Billy, I mean, that's a guitar dream with those two. Tyler is a disgusting bass player. It's the attitude. Here's what I'm not used to, and what I've been wanting to do, and what Dusty's been wanting to do, what we both have been wanting to do in Allele for
years,
a decade. It's like have a train that is moving and no one's out there blowing the fucking tracks up while it's moving. What we've been trying to do for a decade. And hey, my own bomb
I've
went
never heard a more apt analogy in my life. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm responsible for one of those bombs because this accident, and it shut it down for over 4 years, but
a couple of those bombs. You quit the band too, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, I know.
You quit your own fucking band and left me with these degenerates.
We're all
thanks, Wally. Thanks.
We're all, but
I know you just spent $200,000 putting this record out, but I'm gonna go quit. Fuck all y'all. Here, get this other guy Andy to sing. Thanks, Wally.
And it honestly is. It's not to save face because people are watching us, but I don't wish anything bad on anybody. Everybody has their vices or their non-vices.
Oh, I know, me either.
Everybody has their thing. I'm just saying, for me, we're all chemicals, and certain things mix and certain things don't. That's all it is, man. And maybe I expect things that aren't realistic, and that could be it. But all I want is a group of guys that think the same way when it comes to getting music to come out the way that we want it to. Yeah. So we started writing these songs a few years ago. We did release, a couple of them under Feed the Wolves, and I didn't plan on releasing those through Allele anyway. But the best two, though, I do like Chemical. We actually played that live in Allele before we even recorded it and called it, and Hurricane. But we'll probably play those live eventually. But Red Heart, Love, and Crown, those are and we have about 5. So we already have recorded Red Heart, Love. Can y'all hear us good? Okay. Yep. Red Heart, Love, and Crown. So Red Heart, Love is that's a love song.
For the record, I was just very strongly thumbing up. Somebody said we should do Allele and Taproot, and then they said we should do Allele, Earshot, and Taproot, and I was aggressively thumbing up to that.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to turn up.
No, I was aggressively thumbing up this comment right here. You can add Earshot to that tour, Allele, Earshot, and Taproot. I was aggressively thumbing that.
Yeah, I mean, for the old schoolers, they'll remember we went out for a while with Earshot and Saliva back in the day. But the new stuff.
It'd be great to do that again.
Yeah,
it would. Earshot and Saliva, wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
We should try and make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you and Alex are going to make.
I know Bobby. Don't you know Bobby?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we're neighbors.
That happen.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
You hear that, Bobby? Saliva, Earshot, and Allele.
Yeah, Bobby's a great guy, man. It's everybody has a goal and everybody has an idea and things they want to do. At the end of the day, we just want to play with people. That's it. Yeah. But the new music's really important. You know why it's more important than normal? Because I've been fucking trying to put out new music We've been trying to do it for years and nothing has come out. I had to change the band, write shit with other people to get music out. If that doesn't tell you what the issues were.
Everybody almost had to get killed.
Yeah. So we have the ultimate lineup and it's not going to change, period. That's why I love the 20-year anniversary. I like the nostalgia. I like reinventing this band with the lineup that was supposed to start 4 years ago. And I'm glad that we didn't do anything until it was ripe and ready and it's ready to go. So we're going to.
In the immortal words of the Wu-Tang Clan, protect your neck.
Yeah, protect your neck, right? So
we're going to not listen. If you had protected your neck.
Huh? What? What'd you say? Oh, yeah. So we're going in next week.
You didn't listen. You did not protect your neck.
No, I did not. You know, that's what happens when you trust the wrong people. Okay. That's what happened to my neck. But we're going to go in the 22nd. So here's what's going on. We're going in the 22nd. We're going to finish doing drums and Billy's guitars on the music and Tyler's bass. And then we will have the lineup on the new material. We will be releasing Red Heart Love first. It's a song that it's a love song, but man, it does not sound like one, but I love it. That's probably one of our favorite songs that I personally have been a part of writing in years. Red Heart Love is probably my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite songs I've ever written is Red Heart Love. And Crown. Crown's
well, and that was kind of the thing. All this shit was written.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Kind of as Allele, and then became Feed the Wolves. But it's like, you know, even when I heard the songs, like, these are just Allele songs. Like, you can't escape it. It is your legacy. It is your history. You know, and these songs are. They are a continuation. They're just as good as anything Allele has done before. But I think, you know, but a progression into the future. I mean, I think the new stuff, just like you, I'm just excited about the new stuff. Like, Point of Origin's cool and doing that shit is cool, but it's like, I'm just as excited or more excited about getting this new stuff out and pushing that and getting people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a carpenter. You get better the longer you do it. You know what I mean? You learn things, and that's where we're at. But we are going back because between the break, Tom, I did send you it years ago. But, you know, there's a song.
I was probably too busy to pay attention.
Yeah, you know, people will remember. We never released it. We just did put it on YouTube called Take You In. And it's about a female vampire. And that's my wife's favorite song and Red Heart Love. But that song, Take You In is badass. We will be re-recording that also. So we're going to work on, like, what are we doing, Tom? We're going to work on an LP first. You know, we're going to go in and, you know, punch one out at a time.
We're going to put out a few singles and work towards an album. And then when we end up with an album, you know, we'll put out an album eventually. Yeah. So Mark DeLeon just asked something that I wanted. I don't know if you know Mark, but Mark's awesome. He plays in the Mentors and he's one of my good friends from Bakersfield for years and years and years and years and years. But he just asked, do you find that it's better to release singles or we're doing a full album at one time? I mean,
singles at a time. Yeah. Single, what'd you say?
People like that song.
Yeah, Take You In.
And Justin was asking about Live the Fight.
Oh yeah, Live the Fight. Yeah, we did Live the Fight and we did Take You In, and we're gonna redo those. Those are gonna be part of Take You In. Actually, was played on 95X when we went up there and did X Fest for them. 95X Fest.
That was a killer show.
That was awesome, man. But yeah, we have some stuff that we didn't release, and then we have stuff that we just wrote. So we're just going to pop out one single at a time until we hit a certain number. And then, you know, like you said, we'll follow it out with a full album release.
Yeah. I mean, look, singles are great. I personally like the album format. I think there's a place for both. I mean, I think where the business is right now, speaking purely as a label guy, you know, I think there's a place for both. As a fan, I still prefer records. I prefer the record experience.
Yeah.
You know, as a label guy, I think there's
Me too. I think breaking it up in singles is weird, but I know that that's just how people do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree. Hang on. I'm trying to tell you, Live the Fight. We talked about that. Breakaway. Amazing.
Just good night. Good night. Yeah.
The new songs are a bit, if the new songs are a bit heavier, that would be awesome as fuck. Y'all know how to write.
They are.
I mean, they're heavy as fuck. I mean, they're real heavy, real modern heavy, but they like I said, they still sound like Allele. That's what I love about it. I mean, it's definitely even and that's kind of, I mean, to me, the mark of a great band, and that the DNA hasn't changed. Like, two of the main guys aren't in the band anymore, but it still sounds like the same band. It's, I think a lot of that stuff, I think it was my DNA on it and Wally's DNA on it, and
Well,
the other guys.
I have a certain sound I like, and I write a lot of the music. Well, I don't play any instruments on purpose, because when I write a song, I like to hum it out for the band. I like to hum it out to a guitar player, and I like to hear their rendition of what I'm thinking. So I do write most of the ideas. Not all of them by any means, but I do come with most of the ideas. But I like to hum them out, and I'll do all the structuring and everything like that. I'll produce the structuring of everything. I write all the lyrics and melodies and all that stuff. Not trying to be like that. It's just how it ends up going.
And look, I mean, look, Kelly's.
That's just why the sound is always going to be there no matter what. So
I mean, look, Kelly's guitar playing. I mean, Lane too. I mean, they were both fantastic fucking guitar players.
Phenomenal.
And they both had very distinctive styles. Were great writers.
They were one of the most powerful guitar duos.
Sorry?
They're one of the most powerful guitar duos ever, Lane and Kelly.
I agree.
No one will ever deny that. There's no denying it. They were, Allele got, what it got, and a lot of it had to do with how those two guys were on a stage, and they were amazing. And that's where I feel lucky having Billy and Joey, because it's the same different thing. You have the talent, Joey is so ambient and amazing. Billy is so ambient. The dude is a shredder. Both of them are. They're just, I couldn't ask for a more badass set of guitar players. Like that's it. So the sound's going to be there no matter what. It is. Because that's just how from the first song Allele ever did in the demo to the last song we did, there is still a sound in there, just like Elizabeth saying, it's there. So, I mean, that's how I like that off dark sounding. I like kind of where it sounds like there's an orchestra on the guitars. Like, I love that shit. And that is something that we have always done. And I love that. Yeah. Cause you don't hear that, really often. So, and I like to keep that idea. We can have it heavier and newer, but that kind of guitar orchestra feel, like I like that. And we're still going to maintain that.
Like ambient.
Yeah. Yeah. That ambient stuff. I love that shit.
With layers.
Yeah. It's emotional, man. It's emotional. It's got stuff. Let's dive in here. What do we got? I scrolled everything down. I got a whole bunch of nights. So yeah, we're excited, man. We're going to be in Green Bay, June 28th.
It'd be great to bring back Ozfest.
Woo! Oh, I know. They need that. Somebody probably will. It's like rehashing an old movie, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, I would love to do festivals. Nobody can do festivals like Danny Wimmer. Like, he's pretty much locked it all down for the whole country. So there's nothing left for me to do.
I mean, Jacksonville. Danny Wimmer's Jacksonville. Limp Bizkit's Jacksonville. 38 Specials Jacksonville. Leonard Skinner. Yellow Card. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. Saliva. Everybody in Saliva is much from here. Cold. Allele. I mean, there's so many bands from Jacksonville. Like, it's, we have a large influence in the music, community. Absolutely.
Jacksonville has a sound.
Yeah, it does, man. It used to have the shittiest music scene for a while. I mean, it was just horrible. But it's coming back, man. It's coming back. So actually, Jacksonville, we probably played less than we played almost anywhere. We actually didn't even play here that much. But the scene here for us personally was always great. But it had a bad reputation where bands would skip Jacksonville and they would just go to Orlando. But it's weird because you have all these bands from this town. Brent, Shinedown, that's where I met, when Shinedown just got started. I met Brent when he was on Atlantic by himself. It was just Brent. And Judy Van Zant, Ronnie's wife from Leonard Skinner, she owned a studio with Pete Thornton. Pete Thornton worked for Atlantic and everybody. He did Biscuit, all this stuff. And I met Brent when his hair was like down to here, long ass hair. Sweet dude, man. And they put the band together here in Jacksonville. And they actually started playing with us because we would pack out. Freebirds was owned by Judy Van Zandt, and we would pack that place out. And that's where Shinedown started playing. Was we would pack the place out, and it would be presented, Shinedown, and that was just that was a cool experience, man. Back then, we had a lot of fun here. There's a lot of people that come from Jacksonville you just don't realize.
A lot of good musicians.
Mm-hmm. Dusty is now in
Sun's
Jacksonville.
coming up in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look, and it's all. I mean, I hate to say it, the whole flood that came out of there, we owe it all to Limp Bizkit. And look at the resurgence those guys have had, man. There was a good period of time where Limp Bizkit couldn't get touched with the 10-foot pole, and now it's like they're out headlining fucking arenas and stadiums and
they're owning it.
Festivals.
Yeah, I'm putting. I mean, nobody can deny the size of a crowd. Biscuit will pull as much as anybody now. I mean, it's like who headlines, Biscuit or Lincoln Park? That's where they're coming back to.
It's crazy, right? Good for them, man.
Yeah.
I still talk to Wes, and I fucking love that guy. He's such a brilliant fucking musician, man. I love Wes Borland, my dude.
After the 309. Well, we're gonna try to go everywhere we can, man. We're on it. We have a great booking agency that Tom got us hooked up with. Alex is such a great guy. He works with a lot of guys, a lot of bands, a lot of people, and we have to put our work back in it, and we'll do it. Everybody that knows when we play, our thing is about being live, and when we're on a stage, man, we're different people.
Yeah,
it's a different
live
thing.
band for sure.
Yeah, so we can't wait to get back out there, man. We can't wait. We're stoked. We're super excited.
June 28th in Green Bay, man. That's gonna be an awesome show. So, if you don't know, it's Allele with another great band from Green Bay who are a little heavier. They're like a industrial.
Great though.
They're kind of like a Fear Factory, like a more industrial, borderline death metal. They're fucking awesome. They're from here, and it's literally the album. They're putting out their first album. They were a band that were kind of signed and did a lot of shit in the 90s, and then they did the same. They broke up for 25 years, and then I talked them into getting back together like 5-6 years ago. So this band, literally, and I've talked about this in interviews before, they were literally like the band, like when I was a kid. So I met the guitar player Tim when I was in high school, and I was a real nerdy fucking loser kid in high school. But yeah, the first day I went to this, I moved a lot. So my first
say
day
it again, Tom.
I went to what was that?
I said, say it again, Tom.
Oh, I don't know what I'm saying again, but anyway, so my first day of fucking freshman year, I met the guitar player Tim, super cool dude. Took me to his van, smoked weed with me. It was super, and he was like a senior, right? So seniors weren't cool to freshmen. So, he was in this band called Nothing Sacred, who were this cool thrash metal band. I'd go over to their houses and go over to Tim's house and watch them rehearse, and then they started getting big. Then they changed their name to Bleed, and then they changed their name to Crawl, and they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they were fucking huge here, man. There was nobody here bigger. And then they got signed. They went on tour. I mean, they ended up doing dates on the Warped Tour, and they got pretty big. But then they broke up and didn't do anything for 20 years, and then they got back together. Now this is their first new record in almost 30 years, and that's the release party. So it'll be super fucking cool. And then Riding with Killers is on the show. Taylor from Taproot's band. Oceans on Other Planets from LA. Another cool local band from Green Bay, with the singer from another big band here called Profane. They're Read My Scars. They're opening, so it's going to be a cool fucking show, man.
Yeah, I went and followed all those bands and checked them all out. They're all badass. It's gonna be a killer lineup, and y'all better go because we're driving from fucking Florida straight there just to play that. So that's gonna be a straight drive, but it's gonna be a good time, man. But yeah, all those guys, I can't wait to meet them all. That's one of the best parts of like going out with people. It's like meeting everybody, meeting other bands. That's one of the coolest parts. My favorite part is sitting at a merch booth and meeting everybody. That's probably my hands down favorite part. But the off time, man, I love meeting everybody, other bands hanging out. That's some good stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, I took a little 6-year foray into being in a band and toured the world in a band with the guy from Megadeth, basically playing in a really good Megadeth tribute band with the guy from Megadeth. And
great.
It was fun though, man. I got to tour the world and sing and be on stage screaming my fucking lungs off. And, but yeah, there's just something about that was my favorite part of the night too, was just sitting at the merch table and meeting people and signing shit. And it really is. I don't know why, but that's my favorite
I like
My
those
favorite part of it too, actually.
The 45 minutes.
Yeah.
While we're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the best. I'm just saying
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
favorite times. That's all what it's all about. Yeah, absolutely. And I love watching Dusty play, man. Dusty is there's a lot of great drummers, a lot of great singers, guitar players, but let's be honest, there are exceptions to everyone, and Dusty's that exception. That's why he is the longest running dude with me. He's when you're a singer and you're on stage, dude, I love you, Dusty. I love you. But when you're a singer for real and you're on stage, and if anybody that's listening sings in a band, you're on stage, and you understand. To me, guitar players are the sound, but the bass guitar and the drummer, man, that the drummer, when I turn around and I'm on a stage, the dude I'm looking at the most is Dusty. That's the thing that gets me, I don't know. That's why I end up jumping out in the crowd and ripping someone's shirt, or I end up having hair in my hands or something, you know what I'm saying? That's the other thing I miss, man. I miss all that. So I can't wait. We're gonna have a good time, man. We're gonna have a blast. I hope everybody.
And yeah, there might be a couple other shows on the way there and back that weekend. And look, we are working on other shows, other places. People keep being, oh, you're just playing in Green Bay. It's no, we're working on other stuff. You just gotta be patient, man.
Yet, so we don't announce it, So we're, this is very last minute. I just called you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We had the conversation 3 weeks ago about doing a reunion show.
Yeah. Dude, we had to change it back. It's just my wife Haley got so pissed off at me when I changed the name. She was furious.
There's Hector, who he stole your logo from.
Huh?
There's Hector, who he stole your new logo from.
I know.
Thanks, Hector.
Hector's my boy, dude. Houston, man.
I added him on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook now.
Dude, Hector is
respect after.
Hector's in this band called Saturate. I'm gonna plug the shit out of him. Hector is that band. Saturate is, I don't know why on earth that band is not on the toppest of the top levels. Saturate is so fucking disturbingly sick, dude. Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands I have literally ever listened to. That band is fucking amazing. Hector, all of those guys are so sweet too. On top of it, man, Mike Mexis and Hector, those guys are the shit. So yeah, I was looking because I do graphics and stuff, and I've always done all the crap, So the other day, I'm doing new logo because I was dude, I want to rebrand everything, and I've always had an idea for a logo in my head, and it's never come out right. That's the truth. That's why people have seen 17 on shirts. Right? Because I'm always coming up with something. But I do Google searches because I don't like to write music that sounds like other people's shit, and I don't want to create an image that looks like somebody's stuff. And I go and I put it on the Google search, and it pops up this band. I'm like, huh? That pisses me off because it was almost the same thing. So I ended up finding out it was an old band of Hector's, and I hit him up. I was like, dude, here's this idea that I had. It looks almost just like this because I took A's and turned them sideways to make a double helix. He was so sweet. He's like, dude, do whatever. I didn't want it to look like I was ripping someone off, because I don't do that. But great minds think alike. People come up with things that are similar. We all seen it. There's 50 bands that have the same everything, but he was so sweet. He's like, dude, yeah, it looks like it, but do whatever you want. I'm not bothered by it. It's a dead band. So I love it. And it is that's why we posted it. That is my all-time favorite,
logo.
Yeah. Symbol of the band.
Symbol.
Yeah. That shit's here to stay. I love it. I'm actually getting that I'm getting that tattoo. I don't have my own band tattooed on me. I'm probably one of the only people. Dusty's got Chaos Agent, which was a badass band he was in. Don't even have my own.
Look, it's Taylor Roberts from Riding with Killers, kids. Hi,
yeah.
Taylor.
Oh, is he in here? Taylor. Yeah. I can't wait to meet him,
man.
dude. Yeah, I can't wait him. Taproot's one of my wife's favorite fucking bands on earth. Every time it's in the truck, it's yeah, man. So I love the new band, Taylor. It's badass. So I can't wait to get there and jam with everybody. We're so stoked.
Yeah. Looks high energy too. You guys show.
Oh, Mike Mexis.
Yeah. Mike, there he is. The speaker. Where did you say Mike's in here?
No, he just said he was in the band. Hector said that Mike was in the band too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, the other one. Okay, yeah. But yeah, Mike's a badass guitar player. There's so many good dudes, man. That's the thing that sucks about music. There's so many amazing people that play and do things, and it just doesn't get what it should deserve. You know, I always consider us lucky that anybody still listens to our shit, you know, and that people want to come to the shows. Like, it's very flattering, man. It really is. So we're excited, dude. But we're gonna give people what we're supposed to give them, you know, right, D?
I'm gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
So you give them the D. You give them the D. Is that what you're saying?
You gonna give them that D? You gonna give them that D? It's gonna be awesome though. But yeah, Taylor, I can't wait to see y'all's band, man. All the bands. I've been listening to all of them. They're fucking killer. There's a lot. We all have been to shows where there's some shitty ass bands on a bill, and you're just like, God help me, dude. This bill is unreal from the entire show. It's gonna be sick. And dude, what a venue, man! Like Epic Center wasn't there back when we were touring. What a venue!
No.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's nice.
It's like
amazing. It's such a great place.
Yeah,
Billy just got to play it like a couple weeks ago or last week.
When was Fozzy?
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yep.
Billy said the
It was a
venue's
nice
awesome.
venue, really nice venue.
Yeah. So, and people have been asking about that. They're like, well, how's Billy playing if he's in Fozzy? Well, I mean, they don't tour that much, you know? So it's perfect. It works out great. So no worries about that. You know what I mean? So he's down and we're down, and it's such a killer matchup, man. And Billy teaches guitar, and he's amazing at it. And just so y'all know, like, we're going to start doing things with Billy, because so many people cover or want to know how to play Allele songs on guitar. So that's where Billy's going to come in, and he's going to start doing these online, tutorials and stuff. So that's really neat. There's a lot of stuff coming. We're really excited, man.
It's awesome, man. You hear the fucking dog fight going on in the background?
I mean, life is a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? I could block.
In my house, it is anyway. That's a good parallel to what's going on.
Oh, influence. I saw that Taylor was.
Yeah, poor Taylor's sick. You got a month and a half. You got a month and 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get better, Taylor.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry.
You're right there, Wally?
Taylor was not feeling good, man. I hope you feel better. Hey, you got a few weeks to get better, man. He's got influenza. I saw him online. He's like, he'll be good. Dusty. Hold on. I don't know what that is.
No, Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh, okay. I don't know the abbreviation.
I saw them last night.
Yeah, he was
in
just there.
Atlanta with trivia for the boys.
You don't need to strain to read the tiny comment. Like, I'm putting them on the screen one by one. You see right on our chat, I'm putting the comments in a huge bubble right here under our cameras. So just so you know.
Yeah. Well, you can't respond to stuff on there, so I'm trying to do it on here. It's like
you keep getting ahead. You're reading ahead in the book, though. You gotta stay on the page we're on.
So Whipping the Demons would at least be a really cool like sound check song for sure. I'd love to.
Right?
What's that? Oh, for a sound check.
Song? Yeah, man.
Dude, let me tell y'all something. I have been trying to do covers in Allele since 2002. Since 2002, I have begged guys to like do a cover. Dude, I want to do some fucking Rage. I want to do like something. I've always just wanted to. I could never get anybody ever. Allele has never heard a cover song. Nobody that's ever followed this band has heard us cover anyone. And I always thought that was bullshit. Like that's kind of insulting. It's like never cover somebody at all, man. So we're going to do some cool shit with that too, man. We got a lot of stuff happening. A lot. Yeah.
I heard you wanted to do the Village People YMCA.
That's our number one. That's our number one. We're arguing about who's wearing what.
Man.
I'm wearing the cowboy.
Yeah, we're
cowboy
arguing about
assless
outfits.
chaps. You know.
Yeah. Dusty's definitely got the assless chaps since he sits down.
It's my alarm.
What do we got in here? Fucking love you guys. I love you, Paul. Paul Travis. What's up, Paul? Stephen Patterson. Did you just see what Steven just said?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
great.
to get things together to work out. Dude, Steven's our boy. Steven will tell you all kinds of stories on the road. We took the band, we played, where was it? Purdue University. Oh, dude, we brought like 3 dudes on the road with us. Woody, he was the sweetest, funniest dude, man. He almost got stabbed by one of the guys at the college. Steven had to save so many people, so many different times on the road. It's great, man. And we really want to bring Steve Patterson. You have to say his full name
Steven
is
Patterson.
like saying Madonna. Stephen Patterson. You have to say his whole name. So you guys hopefully will see Stephen Patterson on the road with us. That's the man right there, dude. I worked
Keith.
for the Village People once, stellar band backing them. That's awesome. Taylor said he once worked for the Village People. That's awesome, dude.
I actually ran a side stage
Earl.
for the Village People at a Fortune 500 gig a long time ago, and I did production.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So that's why you like the assless chaps. All right. Hey,
Just
Keith.
like that. Well, it's a nice breeze.
System of a Down. I mean, everybody.
No,
I'm in
they will not
Illinois.
ever make another album. No, to answer your question. System of a Down or Rage will never make another album. No.
No.
Every guy in both bands hates each other. Oh, not really.
Peoria was fun. Yeah, they're asking about Peoria. We loved Peoria, man. Every time we went there, it was packed out. We always had warm welcomes in Peoria. I missed that place. Dude, listen, we're gonna try to hit everything that we can.
Connecticut was cool.
Yeah, Connecticut was cool. And one thing that everybody has to realize, Tom, you can reiterate this, is we're a lot of these tours and stuff like are booked so far in advance, man. So this year we're having to do what we can do, to prepare.
Exactly. It doesn't even matter squeezing in what we can, where we can.
Yeah. What happened?
Telling me I danced.
Yeah, Dusty
Background.
danced in the background of the okay. You danced in the background of the Indian. Yeah, so that's the thing, man, is people just we want to go everywhere, but we have to be realistic, and like we were just saying, stuff is booked 4 months in advance, 3 months, 5 months in advance,
We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're trying to work on some things, and if they work out, oh, it'd be so bad to the bone.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, we're working on the stuff future past it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do what we can do the rest of this year to prepare for a sick year next year. Yeah. So we're gonna go in, like I said, the 22nd. We're gonna finish recording Red Heart Love. That'll be our first single, and then Tom will come up with a date to release it. We'll do a casting call for a video shoot here in Jacksonville, and yeah, it's time to rock and fucking roll. That's what we're doing.
And we might hopefully come see you in Braidwood, Illinois, Elizabeth. So
love
that might be
Jeremy.
something I'm working on right now.
We have so many people that we love, Jennifer and Trish. They used to tour with us all the time, everywhere, bring us food. They were like my security. I loved them. You have, Jeremy and Elizabeth, and you have Luke and Pam. There's, Earl. There's so many good people that we miss, but we made friends on the road. We did, not fans. I've never cared for the word fans, but it's like we've just met so many people. And we've been lucky enough to make a lot of friends out there, and it's awesome. We miss that, man. We miss it.
Yeah,
Columbus,
that's the thing. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh no, the machine shop, dude. Don't even get me started on the machine shop.
Right?
That is
Dr. Stan.
the
By
machine
the way,
shop.
Stan is my dude. By the
Yeah.
way.
Machine
So,
shop
there's
is
Stan.
shit. What'd you say?
Oh, I said that's Dr. Stan. That's my dude. So he's a sports I don't want to call him a chiropractor because he's not, but he's like a sports medicine doctor. And whenever Tappert or my guys go through Michigan, he works on them, and he's worked on me. And he's a fucking genius with those hands.
Well, yeah, I love the machine shop. That is, I've done House of Blues. We've done big things and this and that, but the machine shop is a special place, man. That is something, you name it, they've been in there because it's notorious. It's got a thing, the vibe that's in there, and a sound system that is almost unparalleled. That place, I call that like the Harley Davidson of venues. I love the machine shop, and I hope that we get welcomed back in there. I would love to make it back up there. I love that place.
Yeah, I love that place too. Like Taproot, when we did our album release, when the new Taproot record, We sold out 3 nights in a row at the machine shop. It was fucking amazing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
killer.
Damn. Yeah, it's we never sold out 3 nights in a row, but one night, but
Yeah.
we miss it though. And man, I cannot remember the sound guy that was there. He had like the long curly hair. He would never let anybody touch his sound, man. Like you brought in your own sound guy, it was like a problem. Like that dude is like, I'm mixing the band. He would work with them or whatever, but anytime we played there, he would not let our sound guy touch his board. He had to mix us, and that dude did the most amazing job, man. I hope he's still there. It's been a minute. We haven't been in the machine shop in way too long. Yep. Way too long, man. But we're stoked, y'all. We're stoked. We're excited. Machine shop South. I don't know the owner, but he needs this advice. Machine shop South? I don't know what that means. What's machine
Exactly.
Be in your video. Keep this in mind. Yeah, so we are going to do that. We haven't announced it or said anything yet, but we're going to be shortly. We're going to do a casting call. You don't have to be in Jacksonville, but you'll have to make your own arrangements for travel and all that stuff. And blah blah blah. And we're going to end up needing 4 people, 2 couples basically, to do what we're going to do. And then we'll do a live band performance. We won't spoil everything. It'll be fun. So. Look for that probably in the next couple weeks, probably next week or 2. We'll announce a casting call for that. For Red Heart, baby.
He's saying they need a machine shop down south. Yeah, there's great venues down south.
Yeah,
there's only one machine shop anywhere. You know what I mean? Like
Jacksonville just opened a venue. One of my buddies is one of the owners, but I haven't even been there yet. Dusty went and watched Nothing More there.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, sounded great. Nice venue.
Yeah, called Deca Live.
Real
it's a $7.5 million brand new venue. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I've seen the pictures, but I haven't been there. He didn't even tell me they opened it yet. It's been open for like 4 months. Dude, they just had Shaquille O'Neal doing DJ there the other night. They've had Nothing More there.
It's got a cool balcony.
Yeah, it's kind of like a smaller version.
Okay, well, Taproot can't ever play there.
Where? Florida?
Anywhere with a balcony. Steve has a long sordid history with jumping off of balconies.
You can't access it though, so unless you get off the stage and go walk up the stairs.
Steve, that's what Steve will do. That he will get off the stage, walk up the stairs. He'd go outside to the building across the street and come back in if he had to. Trust me. Like if there's a balcony in a building, Steve will find a way to jump off the fucking. Seriously, go Google. Just go Google Steve Taproot balcony.
Google Steve jumping off balcony.
Like literally, there's been places where there's like a 3rd floor fucking fire escape. Like last year we were doing this outdoor show. There was a building next door, this huge outdoor festival. There's a building next door that had a 3rd store fire escape. He climbed up the fucking stairs of the fire escape to jump off. Like Steve is a fucking maniac.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy. Like I'd rather be out, risking my life. Somebody beat my face in because I just ripped their T-shirt or something. We were in that thing. Where was it when Adema and all them were there? We were up there, wherever that was, up in Wisconsin.
Dude, are you talking about Sausage Fest? I mean, Savage Fest?
No. It was like in that arena. It was in that
Savage
arena.
Fest. That was the festival. That was the festival. I helped that guy do it at the Brown County Arena, which is not there anymore. And but dude, so it's so funny. I just saw this earlier. I found this on YouTube. You remember I got Marky to come up and from Adema to come up and sing Closer to Habit with you, and he didn't know the words. So he was just like mumbling shit. Do you remember that?
He was trying to sing Closer to Habit, yeah.
And somebody posted a video of that. I just found it on fucking YouTube today. I totally forgot that even happened. I kind of blacked that whole incident out.
I've seen it.
Shit.
What's funny is when Scooter came on to sing, what song did he come on to sing? He came on to sing Closer to Habit with me too. He came on and did Closer to Habit. They all picked Closer to Habit for some reason. It was in Jacksonville, but he came on when we were at Freebirds one time and sang Closer to Habit. But we were in that arena, and I'll never forget. This dude was like 6'8". He was built like a damn dump truck, and I ripped his shirt. I don't know. I was just like going on, like grabbing a shirt, that shit. I felt it just, and I was like, oh shit, you know. But he was just like, that was fucking awesome, you know. Yeah, I've never gotten. I've had hair in my hands and pieces of clothing in my hands. So be careful if you're in the front, man. I don't like being up on the stage unless like I hate barricades, but I know that they're necessary, you know. But if I'm ever playing a show and I have access to safely get off of that stage, that's where I'm going to be the whole time, you know? So, but that stuff I miss, man. I miss that. I don't like the barricades. I know they're necessary sometimes, but man, I don't know. It feels like you're in like another, I don't know, as a singer, like it feels like you're in another planet. I don't know, man. I don't like that. I feel like you're through a window and you're like knocking on the window and you're like, come here, you know, I don't like it. Yeah, it's less personal. I don't know. So I may have to bring my own stair system, you know. I'm gonna have to bring something because now I think they make them purposely where the singer can't jump off the stage. They make it like 8 feet now, you know. They're like,
clothesline yourself.
Yeah, they don't want you to jump off of it anymore. So I'm just gonna bring my own stair system. Let me see. Marky was so great in Edema. So yeah, he was, man. You know, he's a funny dude. I haven't talked to him in probably 14 years. Actually, no, since when I did Next to Parallel with Pete, I talked to him when I was out there. But what year was that? Was that 12 or 11?
11.
I don't know, man. Yeah, 11. I haven't talked to Marky since 11. Yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a minute.
Yes, there will be a store and merch coming. I assure you.
Yeah. So we're about to do. I put out a couple of designs, right? I like with the frequency thing, and I did a tribute to Nirvana's Angel. You know, we'll have all that merch because right when we got all that merch, we shut it down. So I have boxes of it. So we'll be bringing that. We'll do some, we got the new stuff we're going to put out. We'll try to, do some stuff for the 20-year anniversary deal because people used to love the eye shirts, man. Like we never kept them. They disappeared. People liked having a third eye and, they had them everywhere. So we'll work on all that stuff. We're just working on a bunch of shit, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're just slowly working our way into this. We're playing just the tip right now.
Yeah.
We're playing just the tip with the big
You're
D.
Sick, Tom. You're sick. You're sick, man. That's why we love Tom. And I'll give Tom some praise here because I don't think people really praise their managers, man. Tom, I've been around a minute. Tom's been around. Dusty's been around. Dusty has, just as big as a foot. I mean, Dusty's toured with Tesla the whole 9 yards, man. He's got a foot in the ground. One of the most professional drummers I've ever played with, and the only drummer I'll ever play with. But, Tom, I'll give it to you, man. Like this dude, y'all, is probably, not even probably, in my experience, just for me, the most self-slave driven, hardworking, bust ass, lives it. People say they live it. I mean, this dude lives it. Unlike anything I've ever seen. There wasn't even a question when I wanted to do this. You have options, whenever you've done a little bit, you can ask around and you got options, I don't even know. We didn't even ask about options, man. It's just like, dude, Tom, like that's it. There is no like other thing. Like to me, I feel like Allele is Tom is Allele. You know what I mean? So that dude, Tom broke this band. There was no ands, ifs, or buts. It didn't matter how good we were. Dude, we had Columbia, we had, Interscope, but you know what was going to happen? We would have fallen, and what was it? 60,000 bands a year back then were signed, during that time. And they shelved like 99% of them. And I felt like that was going to happen. When we met Tom, and just from talking to that dude in the kitchen when we were in Long Beach, that was like it. I was like so convinced. I didn't even care about the other shit that we were talking to. It was, and dude, in 6 to 8 weeks, we were number 2 on Active Rock behind Nonpoint. Like it was just insane. Tom's a machine. And if anybody can take Allele where it was and where it is now and take it and, Super Bowl, throw that shit, like it's Tom, man. So y'all are in good hands because we're in good hands. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
I want my $5.
It is a very thankless job sometimes, for sure. So that's much appreciated.
We all go through stuff. Bands, dude, there are bands, how many stories? Bands get ripped off. Bands bust their ass and it feels like it's for nothing a lot. Managers bust their ass. It feels like it's for nothing. That's why you have to find the right team for a band to like keep doing its thing, man. That's it. Right, Dusty?
Absolutely.
No, that seems like a good note to wrap this up. We've been on here for an hour and 50 minutes. People are probably getting bored of us. So
Yeah,
but
probably.
We're
thank
into
you
the
guys
future.
for
Back-
joining us and asking questions. And
Back to the beginning.
thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I mean, we can stay here for a couple more minutes if anybody else wants to say more good shit about me. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it, you guys and gals. And I hope that we can see as many of you guys on the 28th. And we're working on
January 28th,
Yeah.
Green Bay, Wisconsin, Epic Event Center. Allele, Crawl,
Yeah. Thanks
Riding
to
with Killers,
all of
Oceans on Other Planets.
Riding with Killers, Oceans on Other Planets, all those guys for, allowing us to be part of the whole thing, Thom and Epic Center. Like this is awesome. Like that this happened just in 2 weeks. It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. And look, and we might be we might be announcing a couple more shows. We're hoping we can pick up a couple more shows around that on the way there, on the way back. So don't be surprised if, some more stuff pops out next week, but please don't hesitate to grab even if you're in Illinois, even if you're in Chicago, like it's 3 hours away, man, grab your tickets, come up and have a party with us at the Epic Event Center. There ain't no Allele show like a Green Bay Allele show. That's all I know.
Hell no. All right. We appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you, Keith.
Peace out.
All right, guys. Bye, everybody.
See you in Green Bay.
Later, y'all.
Later.
All right. Oh, wait, hang on. Shit. I was going to put the mask back on.